I've been a fan of One Piece for years, and every time I think the series can't possibly top itself, Toei Animation and Eiichiro Oda's vision prove me wrong. Episode 1126, titled Looming Despair, Admiral Kazaru's Depressing Mission, is a masterclass in storytelling, animation, and emotional depth that left me glued to my screen, heart racing, and mind buzzing with thoughts. This episode, part of the electrifying Egghead arc, delivers a roller coaster of action, character development, and thematic richness that demands a thorough exploration. I'm diving into this review through several key themes: narrative stakes, animation and direction, character dynamics, emotional resonance, and thematic undertones, to unpack why this episode is one for the ages. Buckle up, because I have a lot to say, and I'm thrilled to share it. Let me start with the narrative, because I think this is where episode 1126 truly shines. The episode throws us headfirst into the long-awaited rematch between Monkey D. Luffy and Admiral Kazaru, a clash that's been brewing since the Straw Hats' devastating encounter with the Admiral on Sabaody Archipelago over 700 episodes ago. I still remember the gut punch of that moment. Luffy begging his crew to flee, powerless against Kazaru's overwhelming strength. Now, in 2025, seeing Luffy step up to face him again on Egghead Island feels like a full-circle moment that's both thrilling and deeply satisfying. I love how the episode wastes no time, opening with Luffy's bold provocation, echoing Kazaru's own words from Sabaody to taunt him. It's a power move that screams confidence, and I'm all here for it. The stakes are sky-high. The Straw Hats are cornered, trying to protect Dr. Vegapunk while the Navy's fleet, led by Kazaru, closes in. I appreciate how the episode balances the immediate tension of Luffy's fight with smaller narrative threads, like Zoro's showdown with Rob Lucci and the Labo Phase update on Stussie's condition. I was a bit worried the episode might feel overstuffed, but I think the pacing is spot on, giving each moment room to breathe. However, I'm not entirely sold on the brief shift to the Labo Phase. It felt slightly abrupt, and I personally would have preferred a touch more focus on Luffy and Kazaru. Still, I anticipate these side plots will pay off, especially with hints of a Gear 5 transformation looming. The narrative sets up a climactic arc that's both personal and world-shaking, and I can't wait to see where it leads. If there's one thing I absolutely adore about the Egghead arc, it's the animation, and episode 1126 is no exception. Toei Animation has been flexing its muscles since the arc's return from its 6-month hiatus, and I think this episode might be one of their finest yet. The fluidity of Kazaru's lightspeed movements is mesmerizing. Each laser beam and teleportation is rendered with such precision that I could feel the sheer power behind his attacks. Luffy's counterattacks, infused with his signature rubbery chaos, are equally stunning, with vibrant colors and dynamic camera angles that make every punch feel monumental. I really appreciate how the animators use sound design to amplify the action. Kazaru's light-based attacks have this eerie, high-pitched hum that contrasts perfectly with the deep, resonant thuds of Luffy's hockey-infused strikes. Kazaru, on the other hand, is a fascinating foil. I'm torn about his characterization here. On one hand, I appreciate the glimpses of his internal conflict. His depressing mission weighs on him, especially after his fight with Sentomaru in episode 1125. The flashback to his past with Sentomaru and Vegapunk added layers to his stoic facade, and I really felt for him when he mused about their bond. But I personally don't understand why the episode didn't lean harder into his emotional turmoil. Kazaru's duty-bound nature clashes with his personal connections, and while I see the potential for a tragic arc, I think the episode holds back just a bit. I'm hoping future episodes explore this more, because I believe Kazaru could steal the show. Elsewhere, Zoro's fight with Lucci is a treat for fans like me who live for his swordplay. I love how the episode teases his strength without overshadowing Luffy's moment. The brief check-in with Sanji, Stussie, and Kaku also intrigued me, though I didn't like how quickly it was brushed over. I anticipate these dynamics will deepen, especially with Stussie's uncertain fate. Overall, I think the character interactions are a highlight, balancing action with moments of vulnerability that keep me invested. Kazaru's side of the story also carries emotional heft, though I'm a bit disappointed it wasn't explored further. His fight with Sentomaru in the previous episode left me heartbroken, and while episode 1126 references that bond, I wanted more. I really appreciate the subtle hints of his reluctance, like the way his expression falters when facing Luffy. It's a small touch, but it humanizes him in a way I didn't expect. I also anticipate the Labo phase scenes will bring more emotional weight, especially with Stussy's condition and the Straw Hat's efforts to protect Vegapunk. I'm against rushing these moments, though slow burns are One Piece's specialty, and I hope the anime takes its time. Finally, I want to talk about the themes because I think episode 1126 is rich with ideas that elevate it beyond a simple action episode. The clash between Luffy and Kazaru is a battle of ideals. Luffy's unyielding pursuit of freedom versus Kazaru's rigid adherence to duty. I love how this reflects the broader One Piece narrative, where the Straw Hat's defiance of the world government challenges oppressive systems. Luffy's taunts to Kazaru feel like a rejection of the Admiral's worldview, and I'm all for it. There's also a thread of redemption woven into the episode. Kazaru's depressing mission suggests he's grappling with his role, and I think this could set up a redemptive arc. I personally don't believe he'll switch sides anytime soon, but I appreciate the nuance in his character. The Labo phase scenes hint at themes of sacrifice and loyalty, with the Straw Hats risking everything for Vegapunk. I didn't like how these themes were sidelined in favor of action, but I anticipate they'll come to the forefront soon. One Piece has always been about hope and resilience, and episode 1126 captures that spirit while planting seeds for deeper exploration. In the end, I think One Piece episode 1126 is a triumph. It's a thrilling, emotional, and visually spectacular chapter in the Egghead arc that sets the stage for even bigger moments. I love how it balances action, character depth, and thematic richness, even if I have minor gripes about pacing and unexplored emotional beats. I really appreciate Toei Animation's commitment to excellence, and I anticipate this arc will only get better. Whether you're a longtime fan or a newcomer hyped for Gear 5, this episode is a must-watch. I'm already counting down the days to episode 1127, and I hope you're as excited as I am. Let me know your thoughts. Did this episode blow you away like it did me?